Grand Rising, everybody, and welcome to episode 15, believe it or not, of the JDS Philosophy mini lecture series. I'm your host, as always, Jonas Spencer, founder of JDS Philosophy and author of the book, And They Shall Know You by the Trail: How the Paths We Take in Life Define How We Perceive Reality. Out now on Amazon, Kindle, and Kindle Unlimited, coming soon in print editions. And I wanted to today talk about what got me to this point. And the reality is, what's gotten me here is a couple factors, but it all goes back to the same thing: grit and determination. None of this was handed to me. Blood, sweat, and tears every step of the way. And let me tell you, there was a lot of all three, especially the tears. It's not been an easy road. To learn the lessons that I share in the book, I had to survive things I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I had to walk paths that I know that there are a lot of people out there that a couple weeks into the road they would have ended it. But I couldn't. I had to keep going. I was determined to keep going. There's that word, right? Determination. And one of the hardest things that I had come out of that was the number of people who saw that determination, saw the strength and resilience of my soul. And that was it. That was all they could see, because they understood the gravity of what I was going through, the path I was walking, and maybe they didn't understand why I was walking it. There was a lot of the time I didn't even understand why I was having to walk the path I was. I only knew that I had to walk it, and that in walking my path, I would be able to find alignment with my purpose. And that's what I've done here. It took 5 years out on the streets, 44 years of realistically taking the hard road every time when I was presented with the choice. And the reality is, I wouldn't go back and do it any different. And the reason I would not go back and do it any different than the way I've done it is because I see the man that came out of that. I haven't always liked who I am. There was a long time that I outright hated myself and was just really good at hiding it to where people didn't notice, to where people didn't know how much I actually loathed my own soul. And it wasn't until I was finally able to verbalize it, and for that I thank my ex-wife, because she was the one that pushed me to the point that I was able to say, I hate myself. I'm not going to go into how it all came about. Mention it in my book if you really want to know. But the fact was, I finally was able to admit that self-hate, and it stopped everything in its tracks. The fight that was going on, the realization, or the delusion that I was okay, even though I couldn't stand my very core of my being. But it also triggered growth in me. It was a moment that I needed more than probably anything else. It was the catalyst, really, for all of this. Because I made an active decision that I didn't want to hate myself anymore. Let me tell you, the path to learning to love yourself, it's a dark one, it's a painful one. It involves going down a lot of roads that you buried for a reason. But the fact of the matter is, those reasons don't matter anymore. Those things are getting heavy to carry. They've become an identity that isn't you. And so you decide you want to do better. You want to be better. You want to fix the things in your soul that have created the hatred. And that, again, grit and determination, because that means facing down some of your deepest, darkest traumas and owning things within those that you've been telling yourself for years, I don't have to look at it this way. Well, the reality is you do. Because in the end, we are the ones responsible for where we are on our path. The individual actions taken against us, sometimes we can't do anything about that. Sometimes we get our autonomy taken away there, and we are traumatized by those around us. But where it becomes our choice in it is, how do we deal with that trauma? Do we let it define us? Or do we experience it, learn a lesson from it, and from that lesson continue to grow? I personally have actively made the choice to learn the lesson in things. In fact, I've taken that level of accountability to a whole new level and realized that the victim mentality of why me, we hear people say it all the time. I used to say it all the time. Why me? Why is everything so hard for me? Why doesn't anything ever break my way? And then I realized something one day. You can add 3 letters to that statement, and not only does it completely reverse the statement, but it makes the very fabric of reality mutable. It allows you to change the reality you exist in. And yeah, it's as simple as, I can't remember if it was Plato or Aristotle said, all you got to do is change your mind and you change your reality. It's that simple, but it's so hard because you have to choose to. It's an active choice. Everything I teach, it may seem external on the surface, but I don't have any of your answers. I only have my answers. The only thing I can do is help guide you to where your answers lie. And again, that takes grit and determination. And I have to trust you're willing to listen. But there's a reason I get on here and do these videos every day, and it's because I do trust that you guys are listening. That the right people out there see my message. And yeah, I realize there's thousands of people who see this and will scroll right by it. And my message isn't necessarily for them. My message is for the ones that feel prompted to click, that sit and watch the videos, that take the time to actually absorb the information I share in my mini lectures. And apply those things in your own life. You'll find the determination just seems to come from there. You'll find it in yourself, and you'll find the way to the reality you want. And those 3 letters, N-O-T. Why not me? And that means applying that in literally every instance. Because guess what? Why not me when things are going bad? Why not have the opportunity to learn this lesson, to grow as a human being, and to become closer to the man I'm intended to be the man I want to be? And when things are going good and rewards are coming my way, why not me? Because I do deserve it. I am worthy of these blessings. I work hard every day. And while I may not see the blessings immediately, I know that they are on their way and that they will arrive eventually. I'd like to thank each of you for taking time to listen to this mini lecture today. Depending on what format you're on right now, if you're on Facebook, please follow, like, subscribe. Leave me a comment, guys. I'd love to hear how this video resonated with you. If you're over on TikTok, follow, subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Get this out there. If you're over on YouTube, same thing. Follow, like, subscribe, Share these videos. Get this content out there. I appreciate you guys. I love you. And until next time, this is Jonas Spencer from JDS Philosophy, signing off.